And you guys are involved, obviously, in the tours when the students do come in, but you're very involved with the co-op program now that you're on the other side of things. Talk a little bit about what it's like having the experience of being a co-op at Triangle, but then now having to mentor and kind of lead some of these young folks walking in the same shoes that you walked in.
It's a very interesting experience, mainly because, when you're a co-op in your first job, you're kind of timid. You don't really want to ask a lot of questions. You kind of want to play things a little quiet. So I was always afraid sometimes to kind of ask, maybe a stupid question or something like that. But, you kind of learn to get over that fear. And last year was my first year actually mentoring the co-ops, as their manager technically. And it was interesting to see the flip side of the perspective of, them coming and asking me questions and thinking, they're a little bit timid and it's just a funny perspective. And it's also difficult to realize the responsibility now of managing people underneath you. I had never really managed people before here at Triangle or really anywhere. And having to have, those co-ops under your wing to make sure that they have a task to do every day or a list of things that they need to accomplish was definitely a challenge that I wasn't ready for. So it was definitely a learning curve for myself.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the transition, and I always say this, I don't think you're ever ready to have people reporting to you. Yeah. You just have to dive in and do it, because those experiences that you have as a people leader and a people manager, they are unique to each individual person, and those relationships, they develop over time. So it's one of the most challenging things that you can possibly do in your work life is leading and managing people. But
yeah, I mean, last year we had a pretty substantial list that we thought that was going to take an entire summer complete, and it was gone within a couple of weeks. So Dave and I have been working pretty close together this summer to make a very substantial list that hopefully they won't blow through very quickly.
Yeah. So what are some of the things on that list, Dave?
I've got a lot of commercial work that is somewhat backlogged that we need to really have a couple people that can sit down and work on, some updates for customer drawings and basically a lot of clerical stuff, but they're going to get some good experience with updating documentation, coming up with unique inspection plan updates that, might save us quite a bit of time and make it easier for the guys on the floor. We have some new projects that they can help out with as well. We're even thinking of having them work with the robot a little bit too, which, someone that might be interested in that field would really love to do. Yeah. Would help us push it forward a little bit too. And then, the new project that I'm working on, I'm going to pull them into and have them work with the guys as well, maybe even run a machine or two if they can. Yeah. Be great experience all around. And there's quite a few things on that list on the medical side as well that Nick could probably talk to that need done.
Yeah, I mean, we have a couple of new things coming for not necessarily new customers, new projects in customers. We have new technology coming. We have the laser welder on the way this summer. We're going to try and get the co-ops involved in that. Maybe either learning how to program it or learning how to use it. And I know we have a lot of new medical work coming through this summer that we're definitely going to need their help for. It's a combination of kind of everything. Clerical things, as Dave was mentioning, for commercial, up to doing anything from like a measurement study or something like that, which takes some time to kind of teach and understand the workarounds of it. But once they understand it, once they get it, they're able to perform a study for us and provide us the data we need, which we have to provide to the customer to prove that our process works.
Yep.
So they're not going to be bored, I'll tell you that. They'll have plenty of things to do for the summer.
Well, it's interesting. It sounds very much in parallel with what you guys described as what your daily work life is like. It's fast, it's furious. There's always new things coming at you. And I think one of the things that I'm most proud of as far as our co-op program goes is the fact that there is such diversity. I mean, these students are coming in and they're getting exposed, like you guys just said, to every aspect of what we do, from some of the more I would say, laborious and maybe boring side of the paperwork aspect of the things that we do, right down to, working with robotics and running CNC machines, and you mentioned laser welders, and there's the exposure that they get is real time, so they can really understand what it is that they enjoy, what it is that they don't enjoy, but also understanding that there are going to be aspects of your job that maybe aren't as fun as some of the others, but that they're equally as important because it goes to proving out a process or to validating a part or just anything. There's really a great opportunity, and I think that you guys experienced that, and it was really cool that you both have transitioned into being full-time folks here for quite a while now.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm sure you can attest to it. I mean, the work is just never going to stop. We've made that giant list for them, but like you said, it could change in the first week. Who knows? Depending on what projects come through or what things come around. But, we can only plan as much as we can until the time comes. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
We actually have a board that we have everybody writing down what the projects are that we really need done coming up. And I would say I filled out a third of the stuff that's on there, maybe 2/3 is commercial.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee within the first 2 weeks that they're here, there's going to be so much work for them that we'll never get it all done.
Yeah.
And 3 months is, relatively speaking, is not a lot of time for people to get real dirty down with a project and, get something completed and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Because again, our days, if you see how we work day to day, we never get a project done on that day unless the deadlines do. It's always going to be fluctuating when, what we're working on. And it's going to be the same thing for them. That's how it was for me when I was over here, when I was upstairs. It constantly changes.
Yeah.